here's the big problem. If I am right that this entire thing was created by Goldman Gary and the other central banksters to destroy all the progress that we as an industry have made over the past decade, couldn't execute it better. You have a useful idiot, Manchurian candidate, that is up there sounding good. Michael, you think he sounds good? If you watch the Manchurian candidate, when they turned that chip on, he sounded awesome. Awesome. But when they turned the chip off, he was an idiot. But people think we're back to crypto winter. We're not. This was just a nor'easter. You know, I live down here in North Carolina, and about every 10 years or so, we get a monster storm in the middle of spring, snowstorm. And it's just a nor'easter that spins off the coast, drops all this snow, and makes living in North Carolina hell for about a week because we don't know how to deal with snow. But I think that's what this whole FTX debacle has been. So anyway, that's my ensemble. Allegations, and I can't substantiate them, but there's a lot of things that are pointing to them being true, that some of the money wasn't actually speculated away. I might give someone a pass for being a bad trader, but here's the thing. There are allegations that money was given directly to political candidates. What was your take of his intellectual prowess? He has an MIT degree, so in theory, he's a really smart guy, right? Did you watch the Voorhees debate? Did you watch the last part where he was giving him the email analogy and having Sam then try to refute? Okay. Mm-hmm. Sam was looking at his feet. His right arm was shaking. He went and He was a huddled mass. They are pawns in a chess game, and he is not the grandmaster. Who blew up Luna? So it was laid out in November of last year, line by line. And the accused, what they accused, we, the collective, we all accused Citadel or JP Morgan or somebody like that, BlackRock. Let me go with this for a second. What if it was them? So here's the weird thing. If you're a regulator, which group would you investigate first? A shady offshore group, not incorporated in the US, with their major investor, a Chinese national. That's nothing against Chinese nationals, but that, we have this weird thing in the US that's against China now. It's like the Soviet Union. Or would you go after a firm based in New Jersey or a firm based in Kansas City that does crypto lending? I don't know. I probably would go after the offshore one. How did Otteru get inside documents on Celsius and leak them? And then who shows up to save them? Oh, FTX. And then they decide not to. Oh, how does Otteru get inside documents on BlockFi and leak them? And who shows up? FTX. Voyager. Shocking. FTX. So what if, right? Again, go all the way back to the beginning. This was the plan to say, what is the greatest threat to the banks? Things like stable coins. If $1 million leaves the banks and goes into a stable coin, do the banks care? Whatever. $1 billion, don't care. $100 billion? Now we have a problem. So what do? You attack the stablecoin first with your PSYOP organization that you set up, that they set up. Gensler and Ellison and Fried or Fry. Is it lost on anyone the irony that Sam Bankman-Fried? Am I the only one that sees that? Right?
Yeah.
You pronounce it Fried, but it's written Fried. And it's Bankman. So the banks organized this whole thing. They took down Luna. And what happened the next day? Literally, not even 12 hours after Luna collapsed. Who was on TV calling for regulation of stablecoins? Janet Yellen. And here's the thing. It's all going back to Sam's mom. It's all going back to the Democratic Party. Y'all do know, right, that, you had the big memo yesterday, the humble brag from Sequoia. Oh, yes, we lost 150 million, but we've made 7.4 billion on our other stuff. Love that. You guys do know that Sam personally invested $500 million into Sequoia and one other firm. And where did that money come from? This is a money laundering front for the Democratic Party. This whole thing, this entire organization is funneling money into, because who are the partners of those Silicon Valley firms contributing to the super PAC that Sam's mom runs? Check it out. This is one of the most unbelievably elegant takedowns of a competitive threat. This rivals what, to your point, back to history, what JP Morgan and John D. Rockefeller did to the Knickerbocker Trust and the entire trust industry when the trust industry was taking share from their beloved banking industry. They spread a rumor that Knickerbocker Trust, was insolvent. You've seen the picture, the men and women in their top hats and their dresses and their umbrellas doing the run on the bank. Who stepped up to personally guarantee? JP Morgan. JP. Well, you can't ban a decentralized thing, right? It's like squeezing air in a balloon. The air just goes someplace else. But what you can do is you can destroy the on-ramps and off-ramps. You actually can't even ban those because they'll just move to another jurisdiction. But you can do what they just did. You can sow the seeds of doubt, create the bank run that Jim just described, and then you end up with an obliteration. But here's the thing. Over the course of time, from the 1700s to the 1800s to the 1900s, this has gone on multiple times, right? There have been multiple attempts to challenge the 800-year reign of the banksters. Multiple attempts. But at the end of the day, the Rothschilds and the Morgans and all the other members of the cabal come back and they destroy the trust that Jim talks about in these emergent systems. Investment banks, had a great run until what? Well, until they got greedy and got over leveraged. Because at the end of the day, there's a tipping point. Some leverage, perfectly appropriate. Too much leverage, lethal. And that's what happened here. Is if you think about why did Celsius go down so fast? Well, two reasons. One, excess leverage, but also this silly, own token where you pump up the price to create equity. Same problem with FTT. BlockFi survived the longest. Why? Because they weren't doing that. There was no BlockFi token. There was no excessive leverage. They had a couple of bad loans, and the hole wasn't even that big. I mean, the hole was measured in, hundreds of millions as opposed to billions. All of it goes back to risk management. And here's the thing. As much as I love what I do right now, right? I've gotten into this industry. It's populated by these incredibly young, talented people, but they're young. And they are young. Don't have experience, particularly in the TradFi world. And the TradFi world is all about risk management. It's all about risk management. Look, I said the 800-year run of the banksters is over. We're here. The crypto industry is here. We're going to create this new financial system. And everybody's like, no, it's not crypto. It's Bitcoin only. I'm like, well, I'm not going to go there. I mean, I have the buy Bitcoin sign. I love Bitcoin. But there's more to it than just Bitcoin. And it is a new financial system. But let's just back up 1 second. What is the FTX business plan? That's the part that's so mysterious here, in that if there was no real trading apparatus that was profitable, right? It was just a shit show, self-described shit show. And really they were siphoning money, customer funds into that shit show, either to be incinerated or to be handed to political candidates. Why would he be in Washington, again, doling out money to curry favor, to get legislation passed against DeFi, against foreign competitors like CZ, throwing him under the bus? I mean, like, say, right? Throwing his kids under the bus? I mean, really? Really? That would piss me off too. Here's the big problem. If I am right, that this entire thing was created by Goldman Gary and the other central banksters to destroy all the progress that we as an industry have made over the past decade, couldn't execute it better. You have a useful idiot, Manchurian candidate, that is up there sounding good. Michael, you think he sounds good? If you watch the Manchurian candidate, when they turned that chip on, he sounded awesome. Awesome. But when they turned the chip off, he was an idiot.